Hello, my name is Jess. Welcome back to my channel. I am a wife, I am a mom, and I am an Australian New Zealand dual citizen living in Vancouver, Canada. The day that I post this, I am so excited because if my math is correct, if I worked this out correctly, when this video goes live, we will have just landed or are nearly a couple hours away from landing in New Zealand. If you have been following along my journey, you would know that I have not seen my family who live in New Zealand for 3.5 years, and the day has finally come when we were able to travel, my husband, my son and I, to New Zealand to visit them. We've had a couple of little setbacks along the way. We originally had a date that we were going, but the New Zealand reopening got pushed back, so then we had to postpone our flights, and things have just been changing with the isolation requirements, and we've had to do more things like COVID testings than we would have normally had to do if the world was back to normal. The day is here, and I mean, right now I'm in Canada, but when you watch this, I will be in New Zealand, and I am just so excited. I am currently in my bedroom with my suitcases behind me, trying to get the motivation to pack. On top of everything going on, packing just seems a little overwhelming, but I know that future Jess is going to be very appreciative of past Jess if I start packing and planning now. So that is the plan very soon. But I wanted to film this video because I wanted to post something on my original upload day. I know that we will just be getting to New Zealand, so I won't be posting anything in that moment, but I'm quite proud of myself. Since I've been uploading to YouTube, I have been pretty consistent and haven't actually missed a week, so I didn't want to do that for this week. So I am filming while I'm still in Canada, and I actually have something in particular that I wanted to talk about. What I wanted to talk about today is flight anxiety, something that I have never really experienced before, but I'm starting to experience right now, the lead up to traveling to New Zealand. Of course, I would get the little bit of anxiety when I used to travel in the past. That was more so, you know, when we're in the air and there's a little bit of turbulence, and for a second I get a little bit worried, and I'm looking to the flight attendants to see how they're reacting, and they're acting totally normal, so I'm like, okay, things must be good. And my husband works in aviation, and he's just always told me that planes are built to withstand so much different weather, clouds, wind, storms, so that's always been really reassuring to me, and that's really the only anxiety that I've ever felt with flying in the past. Most of the time it was just pure excitement to travel and to go to a new place. But because with everything going on in the world, we haven't traveled in so long. A little bit of a backstory. Growing up, I used to fly quite a lot. Growing up in Australia and having a lot of my family in New Zealand, we used to fly to New Zealand every year, every other year growing up, and I've done a couple of other trips since then with my school and with my family. And when I met my husband, who lived in Canada, we did long distance for 3.5 years, so I was flying from Australia to Canada every other year, and you know, I pretty much knew what to expect with flying, and it was always exciting and something that I looked forward to. But now, with everything going on in the world, we've all been in the same place basically for 2-3 years, and that's just become the new normal. But now, as things are starting to open up and travel is starting to open up again around the world, it's almost a little bit uncomfortable to kind of shift from what was our normal, our new normal, to shift back into what life used to look like. Not sure if I'm wording this correctly. It's just something that I've been thinking about. I've been in the same place for so long, which is something that I wasn't used to. I'm used to going up to different places and traveling, and because of the pandemic and just staying within Vancouver, it was kind of like my comfort zone, my comfort bubble. And now that I'm expanding, it's making me a little bit anxious and not sure what to expect. This has been a big lesson for me to give myself grace for everything going on, especially, I mean, the pandemic is still happening, but it's not as strict as it used to be, and life is starting to open up and go back to what we were used to. And I'm trying to give myself grace that we're going back and it's going to be different, and it's okay to feel a little anxious about what that's going to look like, but go at your own pace and give yourself the space to process everything that's happening, and don't do anything that makes you too uncomfortable, but also don't hide yourself and miss out on these opportunities. It's okay to take things slowly, one step at a time. And for me, that's traveling and experiencing this with my family. I think another reason why I feel really anxious about flying is last time I flew, I was just me with my husband, but now I have a son, and there's some anxiety about flying with him. And you know, my motherly instincts tell me that I always need to protect my son and look out for him. And when you're on a plane, you can't really always control everything going on around you, and that's given me a little bit of anxiety as well. I've never flown with him. He's never been on a big plane before, and especially for that long, 14 hours. So not really sure what to expect with that, but it's also giving me a little bit of anxiety. I guess what I'm trying to say is that summary of all my ramblings that I've just said, it's okay to feel anxious with the world opening up and doing things that were once normal, and you think you'd be fine just to jump back into it after the pandemic. But it's okay to be a little bit cautious. I mean, we've grown so much as people. I mean, I look at myself before the pandemic and I look at myself now, and I've changed so much, and I'm adjusting to these new routines as the new person that I am and what I've learned and grown over these past couple of years. And it's okay to ease into it and to be a little anxious, but I think my advice is to just talk to your loved ones about it, and don't be afraid to take those steps. Life is changing again, and for someone like me where change is hard and I am not used to unexpected things happening, the past 2 years has showed me that I can get through it, and it's okay. Just take a deep breath. Give yourself the grace to ease back into things that used to be normal. We are humans and we are built to be adaptable to change, so you've got this. Another thing that I wanted to talk about was I'm not really sure what my upload schedule is going to look like in New Zealand. As I mentioned in a previous video, I really want to spend this time being intentional and in the moment. Of course, I want to document it and take photos and videos, but I don't want to be consumed with a timeline and a deadline to get things done. So I'm not sure what it's going to look like. I will let you know and you will see if I post. But if not, when I get back from my trip, I will definitely be posting videos and talking about what we did and what I've learned and the experiences of flying with a young child. There's content coming. I'm just not sure what it's gonna look like. Yeah, the pandemic has just taught me, and the unexpected twists of life these past few years have just taught me that, you know, embrace the moment that you're in, because who knows? I mean, I never thought that a global pandemic would ever happen, but here we go. Thank you so much for watching this video and for following along the past few weeks as I have been posting my weekly updates of going to New Zealand. It's crazy to sit here and say that when you watch this I'll be in New Zealand, because for me it still feels far away. And my suitcase is here, so I'm trying to pack and get ready. Something reassuring knowing that when you see this video, these bags will be packed and I'll be on my way. So I'm gonna start packing, because like I said, future Jess will be very appreciative if past Jess doesn't procrastinate and get me stressed later on. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you are well, and I will see you when I am in New Zealand. Bye.